Good morning.
Good morning. Today is day 2 of our diesel heater install. We just determined the place for our fuel tank. We are not going to splice it into our existing fuel tank because I think it's just going to make things extra complicated. It works well, don't mess with it. We just want to keep the system separate. So the fuel tank is going to live in the lazarette down there. That way we can easily refill it. And the second part is we have to run the exhaust, and I just took the old exhaust out of the hull. I think it's a custom made part because it literally sits like this, and yeah, I can't really find a part in that specific angle anywhere, so I guess it's custom made. But you cannot use those on diesel heaters because, as you can see, if I connect the exhaust here, and it will. So if I were to connect the exhaust of the diesel heater, which might go up to 300 degrees, that heat would be transferred straight into the hull. So polyester or fiberglass, it it will melt at some point. Not the fiberglass, but the resin that will melt. We don't want this. So what they came up with is something like this. So the exhaust connects to this, but the hull connects to this, and you can see they are barely touching, only here on this little weld. So the heat transfer is going to be absolutely minimal, and that way you can just safely use this without any big issues. But we do have to fit it, and well, the diameters are very different. And I saw, if you can imagine, this is the back of our boat. This wasn't installed like this, so the hole wasn't drilled straight through the boat. No, it was drilled like at an angle. And this one needs to sit straight. That's why it has this little curve here. So maybe we need to drill another hole. Maybe we're gonna adapt the hole we have now. We're gonna have a little discussion about that. And then we'll come up with the solution, but we'll fit this somehow. It'll be okay.
Okay, let's do it.
Yep.
What you doing?
1 second.
Whoosh.
Sheesh.
Whoosh.
Okay, so we adapted the hole. We're gonna fit this unit. It already comes with these silicone sealing mats, but just to be sure, I'm gonna add a little bit of heat resistant caulking. It's up to 1250 degrees Celsius, so it's serious stuff. I'm sure it's way overkill, but I do want to have some sealant around here because boats always start to leak at some point, and it's just better to have a little bit of sealant. Even though this will probably be enough, we're still going to add it just to be safe, and we're not going to have any leaks. Exhaust. All right.
Exhausting.
So we fitted the exhaust fitting on the stern of the boat, and now we have to fit the actual exhaust. The diesel heater comes with a length maybe this long, but that's way too short because it's meant for fitting it under a van, and then it's long enough. So I ordered this 2-meter one, and we're not gonna fit the damper, so all the gases will go straight out the boat and not half in the boat, half out the boat. So I think this is long enough. Maybe it's a little too long. We're first gonna do a test fit, and if we have a fit we like, we're gonna take it out again, and then I'm gonna add some exhaust wrap to it, so we can protect the boat from all the heat that's gonna come off this, because this gets very hot, I'm told. So we're gonna wrap it, maybe wrap it twice. I have 30 meters, so that should be enough to go around twice. And then all we have to do left after this is the fuel and the power. Okay, so we test fitted the exhaust. We have a few bends in it. It was actually not too bad. We have a pretty good run through the boat without drilling holes, so that's very nice. And now I'm gonna add this stuff. This is exhaust wrap. I think it's fiberglass with basalt. It's a combination, and it's sort of like a cast, so we have to make it wet and then wrap it, and then once we heat it up one time it should dry out and become pretty hard and should really wrap itself around the exhaust. It comes with steel zip ties instead of plastic ones for obvious reasons. I have 2 rolls, and we're gonna see if we can maybe do 2 passes, so it has a double layer of insulation just to be safe. Our friends on Maris, they have the same system, and they say they can store their surfboards about 1 centimeter away from the exhaust. So should be okay, but you can't be too sure because we're working with a lot of fiberglass and hoses and cables and whatnot. So let's get wrapping. There it is. There's a double wrapped exhaust, so we put 2 wraps on it. It's still wet, but the first time we're gonna fire it up, it should dry and then harden and become even more temperature resistant. Yeah, I think this is gonna be pretty good protection for the boat, and it's gonna make sure all the hot gases go out the boat and the boat stays cool. Now Kim is gonna crawl down and we're gonna fit it to the exhaust of the heater and the exhaust on the boat, and then that project is done, and then we only have to do the fuel and the power. Just to give you an idea how cramped it is.
Hi.
Okay, that was day 2. We managed to fit the exhaust, we managed to wrap the exhaust, and we just fit the fuel tank. So the fuel tank now lives in here, so we can fill it from the top, and we mounted it a little bit sideways because this is a Chinese diesel heater, and I'm not sure if this is going to be absolutely diesel tight. So if we're heeling, I want this to be the highest point, so the chances of it spilling are a bit less. Yeah, it fits pretty well in there. Thank God we have Kim, because else this would have been a nightmare operation.
Yeah, we wanted to do more, but after we started wrapping the exhaust pipe, it started raining, so we had to stop for a few hours. And now it's getting dark and cold. So.
Dark, cold. Fed up with climbing in little spaces. Filled with little pieces of fiberglass from this morning. So calling it, and we're gonna finish it tomorrow. We have to do the fuel line, we have to do the air filter, that takes 1 second, and we have to do the wiring. That's it. And then fill it with diesel, and then go out there to the anchorage.
First test it.
First, yeah, of course we're gonna test it.
It is day 3. Well, actually it is day 4. There's a bug on the lens. Actually it is day 4 of trying to build in our new heater. Yesterday we did nothing because I hurt my knee. I have an old snowboard injury and I made a mistake 2 days ago and I hit my knee against the table. So it hurt. It hurt quite a bit, so I had a day of rest. It feels a lot better now, so we're gonna try and do this one. And this one. And then you are gonna do the electrics, I think.
Yeah, I will do the electrics. First up, we have to connect the fuel line to the little diesel tank we have in there. And in this fuel line there also needs to be a fuel filter and a fuel pump. And this all needs to connect to the heater. But first we need to connect it to the our diesel tank, the new one, the little one, because it's back here, and the fuel line needs to run right around here where the actual diesel heater is. I tried reaching it yesterday. I got stuck in our own boat. Very uncomfortable. I just don't fit. So yeah, Kim has to do it. And what Kim also showed was this is the air intake for the combustion. So this is not the air intake for the air we will be getting in the saloon. This is the air intake for the actual diesel combustion, and that also needs to be connected to the heater. And then we'll somehow mount it a little bit upwards or something. Maybe we'll just squeeze it in between the diesel heater and the boat or something. We'll figure that out. It has a little air filter. Well, I can't really call it a filter. It's more just a can with holes. But I guess it's fine.
That's good enough.
There shouldn't be that much debris down there anyway.
No.
So one thing about this fuel line, I have read online that this fuel line over time can harden a bit and isn't super suitable. However, I'm just gonna try it, and if it doesn't really work out, we can always change it out for a better one. But it's quite hard to get parts around here, and this came with the kit, so we're just gonna try this one and see how it works, and if it doesn't work that well, then we'll just change it out. Okie dokie. So we managed to fit the fuel pump and the fuel line, as you can see. The air intake has also been fitted. We didn't film it because if one person is in there, then the whole gap is filled, so you can't really see anything. We did have a bit of trouble with the fuel line. The fuel line didn't fit properly on the fuel tank, so we had to take that out again and then put it back in. And, well, it was a bit of a hassle. Now all that's left is fitting the wiring. So there needs to go a plug to the fuel pump, to the heater, and to the battery. And it's all one wiring loom, and I think it's just gonna fit in one go. I don't think we have to extend or modify this, so that's gonna be pretty good. Yeah, let's get started. We are testing the diesel heater. We installed everything. I think it's starting up now. We decided to mount the little control panel here because it saves us drilling a bunch of holes in the interior again, and it's really easy to access, and it keeps the inside nice and clean. We only use it in winter time anyway, so no point in staring at a control panel you rarely use. Yeah, I think I hear the fuel pump going. It's doing something. I hear tick tick tick. I hear it blowing. This is exciting. Let's see. It's cold air.
Bam!
Tick tick tick. It's really going now. Sounds a bit like a jet. Tick 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 tick. You see fuel going. Oh yeah. Oh, that's nice. It's really nice, dry, warm air coming from here. Let me make that a little bit brighter for you. That's the air vent. Oh, that's that's gonna be really good. Oh, this is a game changer, man. That's fantastic. We're gonna let it run for a little bit and then see how it goes with stuff melting, or let's see how it goes. Well guys, it's been I think about 4 months since we installed the diesel heater, and we are nothing but positive about it. It gives off great heat. It always starts up right away. The diesel usage, yeah, it does use some diesel, of course, but it doesn't use a lot of electricity, and that's the main thing for us because we don't have a lot of lithium batteries. We don't have a massive inverter, so for us this is a fantastic solution. Some of you were concerned about the carbon monoxide. For us it hasn't been an issue so far. We have a carbon monoxide alarm in the cabin here, and it always basically reads 0. That's partially due to the exhaust that we have, so it's just one straight pipe, so there are no leaks, and it goes out the back of the boat. Another part is we usually have a window open slightly, just to get some little bit of fresh air, just a crack. And we notice if we turn on the diesel heater and we have the window open a little bit, the interior dries up much nicer. So we end up with a dry and a warm boat. And we notice with the little electric cheap heater that wasn't the case. It got warmer, but it didn't get dry. And with the diesel heater it does. So we are very happy about that. Yeah, all I can say is if you dare to go the Chinese diesel route, you can, with a few modifications. It will differ from boat to boat, of course, but yeah, you can always shoot us a message and see what we think. We'll be glad to help you. Yeah, I would say go for it. But if you think, I have the money, let me just buy a Webasto, yeah, that's also totally fine. They make kits ready for boats, and you don't have to go shopping for parts and do some research and all that. So that's also a benefit. But the whole build costs us less than 400 euros, and a Webasto starts at 900 euros, and that doesn't include the special exhaust and all that stuff. So
keep that in mind. There is a big price gap, and for us, we sail in mostly warm territories. So like now, it's May, and yesterday it was 36 degrees here. So we don't have it on. As you can see, I'm wearing my summer clothes. If we were going to say Norway, Spitsbergen, Iceland, stuff like this, Argentina, then we would invest in a Webasto and maybe a wood powered stove next to it, because if you get cold there, you die. For us, it's just purely a comfort thing in the somewhat colder months, and we'll be totally fine if it doesn't work for a day and we have to fix something. So that's our consideration. Do with it what you will. If you have any questions, just leave a comment down below, and we'll try to answer you as fast as we can. Thank you for viewing.